Hello, 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 my beautiful people. Welcome back to Good Morning with me, Misti B. Now, by now, I know you guys should know a few things about me if you've been watching the show. What do you know? You know that I absolutely love food trucks. You know that I am a foodie. I don't care if it's from a food truck, a home chef, it doesn't matter. And you know that I love wine. So last night I went to this wine vault and it was a tasting and it was really, really amazing. And you know, before we talked about tasting in order, right? What does that look like? And it was just a great experience and we had so much fun. 6 hours of tasting wine, but it was so much fun. We did not leave crazy. We had a grand time. Saying not to say, today we're going to do some more about expanding your palate. I am not really a whiskey girl, not at all. I prefer wine. But today's guest is a mixologist enthusiast. She's going to bring on some different whiskeys and make some different drinks for us. And let's see if I'll like it. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back after this break.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Oh boy. I'm going old school on his butt.
Let's play a game. I'm a savage.
Come on.
Whoa.
Hey, anyway, I let you still attached. Ooh, everybody right, but
I got it.
Ooh,
She got me.
classy, bougie, ratchet.
Granny's out here having a martini at halftime.
Haters gonna hate.
I'm a
Space
savage.
Jam,
Yeah.
July 16th.
Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so this wine lover, I'm challenging myself today to expand my own palate. This is gonna be something new for me, but I am excited. I have in the studio with me, Miss TK Morgan. TK, hello.
Hello, Misti.
All righty, you have a lot going on this table. And for a baby like me, I'm in my infancy stage when it comes to stuff like this. Tell me, what do we have here?
So I'm going to start off with just the homemade garnishes here.
Okay.
So you always have like those apples, oranges, any kind of fruit that's overly ripe, don't toss them out.
Okay.
You can slice them, freeze them, and I will show you in one of the cocktails we're going to make today how I'm going to use frozen fruit as replacement of ice.
Okay.
You can dehydrate them. So what I did was I dehydrated apples and oranges, low heat at 300 degrees for 2 hours, and I sprinkled them with a little cinnamon. So it adds as a garnish for the cocktail, but it also adds flavor as well.
It sounds like a good snack, but okay, let's keep going.
It can be a snack, yes.
Okay, so we have a lot on the table. What are you fixing?
We do have a lot on the table. However, this is a really good, I call it an after dinner drink.
Okay.
It is a blackberry drink, but I'm gonna use bourbon, Maker's Mark 46. What I love about Maker's Mark 46 for a beginner, it has a vanilla undertone. It has a sweet undertone to it. And then we're going to use a Cavassier, which is a cognac.
Okay.
We're not going to overpower with the cognac, but it's going to be a good blend.
Okay.
All
So
right.
you said, okay, after dinner drink. So this is after we've eaten.
Yes.
I can start off with some wine and then I can go to this.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to let you work
This
your
is
magic.
all about the baby steps.
Okay.
So I am going to start off with the Maker's Mark 46.
Okay.
We're doing half of an ounce of that.
Okay. Got it?
Place that
All
for
right.
me. Thank
Absolutely.
you. And then I am going to do the blackberry. So I'm just going to pour it in my mixer here.
Okay. And that's the blackberry.
Yes. This
Okay,
is
so
the
it's like a simple syrup type deal?
Yes, it's actually concentrated, heavily concentrated
Okay.
with blackberry syrup.
Okay.
And then we're going to use cognac here.
Okay. It sounds like a lot.
It is a lot, but you know, it's one of those drinks where you have after dinner. It's more of a dessert. I like to drink my desserts.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not into dessert wine, but if you are, this will be something you can definitely.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, and especially for my friends that is like, hey, I'm not a bourbon drinker. What would you recommend, or what cocktail would you recommend? This is definitely something I will recommend.
Okay. And the lime juice, it gives it what kind of?
So because of the blackberry is very heavily concentrated,
Okay.
It's very syrupy. It kind of cuts through that.
Like that. Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. And then
This is more of an orange liqueur.
Okay.
It gives it a flavor. It does have alcohol in it.
Okay.
So, but it does give it a nice flavor.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. So we are going to go ahead and mix
All right. I'm going to
this
watch
together.
and learn.
Yes. So we're going to do a nice little shake.
Okay. Got it.
All right. And if you don't mind, pass me one of the glasses with the frozen strawberry.
Absolutely. Here you go.
And as you can see, we have a frozen strawberry
Okay.
inside. So sometimes when you have frozen fruit in your refrigerator that you can't get to quick enough,
So just freeze it. Same thing
you
you
just freeze it.
Like you dehydrate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And so, yes,
Okay, now wait, do I get one of my garnishments in here?
you do get a garnish.
But wait, do I get to choose or this is the recommended, the orange?
I recommend
it looks
the orange.
beautiful. Okay, and I'm just gonna sip.
Give it a sip.
Okay. I like
Let me know
smell.
what
So I am a sniffer. I smell everything.
Yes.
It smells good. The aroma is really nice. Let's see. Not too bad. I don't drink whiskey. You know that.
Yes.
Not into bourbon, but that's not bad. It would take me about an hour to finish it, but I like that. Okay, so what do you pair this with? I know you said it's an after dinner drink.
Yes.
So what would you pair it with?
So I would actually pair it with, if I'm having like a steak night at home, or maybe more of a meaty type fish, like a sea bass.
Okay.
Or a halibut,
Okay.
something to that degree. A lot of times if I'm having a heavier meal, that would be something I would have. If I have a lighter meal, like salad, of course I'm gonna lean to more of a lighter cocktail.
Okay. Now let me ask you. So TK, I know that by day you do not do this. This is your hobby by night. What happened? How did you get into becoming a mixologist enthusiast?
Yes, that's a really great question. I traveled a lot globally
Okay.
for work. And I travel a lot in the U.S. and outside of the U.S. So a lot of times when I go to these great restaurants, sometimes I'm eating alone, I would sit at the bar, make friends with the bartender. They would make these phenomenal drinks. And of course, I may not return back to that city or state. So I asked them like, hey, what's in that? And I actually make notes and write things down and perfect it when I get home.
Really?
Yes.
How long have you been doing this?
For about 7 years.
Wow. So now you do it, and so now you entertain.
Yes, I love to entertain.
So someone who was doing this at home, what would you tell them to do? What would be the advice? Have enough, like, where do they start? What's the beginner?
I would say the beginner, as far as what I would recommend, would be definitely the Maker's Mark 46.
Okay.
And just a simple mix.
Okay.
Like a margarita mix, because a lot of people don't know, with margarita mix, you can use bourbon.
Oh.
You do not have to use
Tequila?
tequila.
Okay.
You don't have to use vodka. You can use bourbon.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you get? So, okay, let's talk about this for a second.
Yes.
Is this considered a masculine drink or a girly drink? Like, do women really drink this? Or is it too strong?
I would say women drink, women are getting into the darker liqueurs and the darker liquors. I would say most men drink whiskey and bourbon, but I'm seeing a lot of women really expanding their palate in this area. Because, with girls, we love to drink wine. We love our wine.
We do. I am one of them.
I started out with wine, but now I probably open up a bottle of wine maybe every 2 months.
Really?
Yes, because I expanded my palate.
Ah,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, okay, so when you're entertaining, what are your guests saying?
My guests are like, I do not drink whiskey, or I don't drink cognac. And I said, let me just make you a cocktail. And if you don't like it, I would drink it.
Do you really drink it, TK?
I do.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do they ever not like it?
They love it.
You've never had one not like it?
I never had a guest that did not like it.
Really?
Yeah, because for my beginners, I always start them out with a Maker's Mark 46, or either I would do more of a bullet rye, like a rye. A rye has a spicy taste to it.
And what is that? Is that a liqueur?
No, it's actually a bourbon.
Okay, and what is it called again?
It's a rye. So you can do just a regular bourbon, or you can do a rye form. So we definitely will have to make you a cocktail with rye.
What's the taste difference?
One is spicy and one is not. One is going to be a little bit more alcohol forward.
Okay, well, that's going to be this one?
And the rye is going to be a little bit more, have a more spicy, it tastes like more, I want to say cinnamon, but more, it has a spice to it. But it's not as alcohol forward as a regular bourbon.
Okay, now I can't lie to you. I really want to dip in here and I want to taste my orange. Can I do that?
You can give it a shot.
What should I expect?
But it may be a little chewy because it's dehydrated.
It may be a little chewy?
Yeah.
But it's definitely giving my drink some flavor.
Yes, that was the purpose.
I just have to taste it, TK. Let me just see.
Yeah,
I'm a creative, so I like to know. Oh, it tastes really good. I'm not chewing it. I literally just wanted to taste it.
Yes.
Okay.
So it does give your drink a little flavor to it.
Absolutely. What other garnishes would you recommend?
I would highly recommend jalapenos and also ginger.
Okay.
All of us love a good ginger, and ginger is good for inflammation, so why not add it to your cocktail?
I love that. Okay, hold that thought, 'cause I know you have some more for me. We
Yes.
are going to be right back with Miss TK Morgan right after this break.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter, Cadillac.com.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm going old school on his butt.
Let's play a game. I'm a savage.
Come on.
Whoa.
Hey, any I let him still attached. Ooh, everybody right, but you
I got it.
Ooh,
She got me.
classy, bougie, ratchet.
Granny's out here having a martini at halftime.
Haters gonna hate.
I'm a
Space
savage.
Jam, July 16th.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy. Because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am still in the studio with Miss TK Morgan. All right, Cocktails by TK. That's what I'm naming you.
All right,
Now, what
I'll
do you
take
have for
that.
me now in this segment?
So what I have for you right now, I'm gonna make a margarita.
Okay.
With the bourbon. This is the bourbon rye.
Okay.
The Woodford Reserve rye, which is one of my favorites.
Okay.
And this strange little thing right here, I know you was
Yes,
asking
what
me
is
about
this?
this. This is a alcohol-infused vessel.
What does that mean? For those of people like myself who have no idea.
So I like to make my own simple syrup.
Okay.
One, the simple syrup that's on the shelf has a lot of ingredients in it. Of course, they have to maintain the life of the simple syrup on the shelf, but I love to just make simple syrup at home because it's just sugar and water.
Really?
Yes, it's 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, or 2 cups of water, 2 cups of sugar. That is it.
Wow, okay.
But what makes my simple syrup so special is I take apples, I take oranges, ginger root, jalapeno peppers, and I boil it all together.
And all that's in here?
All of that is in here. In addition to, there is a filter at the bottom.
Okay.
So before I pour the simple syrup in, I take the filter and I add rosemary, I add lemon, and what it does, it curates overnight.
Honey, I can drink this by itself. This sounds like a good, minus the sugar, like a good detox water.
Well, you can also add it to tea.
Okay.
If you like to just drink black tea like myself, and I want just a little bit of, sweetness to it, you can add simple syrup to it as well.
Oh, wow. All right, TK. So I'm ready for you to get started.
All right.
Take me step by step. I'm going to try to make this at home because I've never had a margarita without tequila. So this is a first, yes.
Okay, awesome. So I know this is a ginger liqueur. I love the taste of ginger.
Okay.
Now you don't have to use ginger in your margarita, but it does give it that
spice.
It gives you that spiciness, and that's what I absolutely love. So we're gonna start off with a half an ounce of the ginger liqueur, and you have to be careful with this because it does have alcohol in it.
Okay.
So you don't want to overpower it with your cocktail. And then we are going to do 1.5 ounces of the Woodford Reserve. So one thing when you're using other alcohol in your drink, you want to make sure you use 1 ounce of, your bourbon, tequila, whatever you're using. But anything else that you mix in, make sure that you don't use a full ounce.
Okay.
Using 1/2 ounce because you don't want it to be overpowering.
Gotcha. Okay, so 1/2 ounce, that's the
Yes.
golden rule. Okay.
Absolutely.
And how much of this homemade simple syrup do we use?
We just need a little bit of a touch. I mean, just like maybe like a 1/2 ounce. I would go 1/2 ounce for this as well.
Okay.
For anyone that's just starting out drinking, bourbon, and they think, hey, this is a little bit too strong, you can add a little bit more simple syrup to it.
Okay. And then this is
a margarita mix.
Okay.
And I picked this up at Specs or either H-E-B. It is organic, and what I love about it, it does not have a lot of preserves in it.
Okay.
However, it doesn't last that long either.
Obviously,
you have to
when
keep
you
it in the
have the
refrigerator.
preservatives. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
But in my house, it doesn't last long.
You don't need it to last long. Okay.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to shake this in my shaker. This is my Pamper Chef shaker.
Okay. And I'll grab. Now let's talk while you're shaking. Let's talk about this extremely large ice cube that you have here.
I love having spear ice on hand.
Okay.
One, it makes the guests feel so special.
Okay.
And then next, as the ice cube melts, your drink is not overly saturated with water from the melted ice.
So having one large ice cube can do that.
Yes, and it's just a very slow melt.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you can still enjoy your cocktail.
Okay, let's see. Now what's my, so no garnish for this one, I'm good. This is
no
just
garnish for that one. Typically I would smoke my glass. I have a torch and a cedar plank, and I would actually smoke the glass. Given that we're on the set, I left the fire at home.
I know, but tell me, okay, wait, I never heard that. So smoking a glass, what is that?
It actually gives the cocktail a very smoky taste to it.
Really?
Yes.
And how do you smoke a glass?
So I take a cedar plank. So the cedar plank that you would normally use to make your chicken or salmon on the grill or even in your oven. I use that. I will set it on fire and I put the glass on top, and it takes in the smoke.
And okay, how long is it on top?
So I usually keep it there. I do that first while I mix. So maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now so let me sip this really quickly, and then we're going to talk about glassware.
Yes.
You brought it. I know you can't do that with any type of glass.
Absolutely.
So what am I drinking again? I am drinking a.
This is a margarita with bourbon, with the bourbon rye.
My first time.
Okay.
You don't have a glass, but I'm gonna say cheers to you anyway. Like you.
Well, I have
glass.
another. Yes.
Cheers to you and
Cheers.
your slow ice, your slow water. Here you go. Oh, I like that.
And it's light. It's refreshing.
It's very light. And
Yes.
that's what I would like about it, because it's very light.
Yes.
It doesn't feel heavy. Now, let's go back to glassware really quickly.
Yes.
So if you're smoking a glass, did I get it right?
Yes.
You cannot just use any type of glass, right?
Correct. You cannot use any type of glass, and then depending on what alcohol you're actually drinking. So the first cocktail that I made, the dessert, I would not smoke that glass because it's more of on a sweet. It has a sweet tone to it. This is light and refreshing, but since we're using bourbon, I always love to like smoke a glass just to give it a totally different taste.
Wow.
Yes, and the glass that I use is more of a drinking, like a bourbon glass.
Okay.
So it's a little bit heavy, as you can feel. It has a very heavy bottom. It's very heavy around the rim. More your delicate glasses I wouldn't smoke at all, but that particular glass I will.
Okay, so let's talk about what drinks to smoke the glass for. Take us really slow. What have you done besides this one?
Right. I would say old fashions.
Okay.
Old fashions are really smoky. A smoky old fashioned is really great. My margaritas, I would smoke the glass as well. And it depends on, a lot of time, most of the bourbon drinks are more of the darker liqueurs or darker liquor, I would smoke my glass.
Okay.
If I'm making a lighter drink, like with a gin or either a vodka, I don't smoke the glass.
Got you. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's talk about some food pairings. So this is a margarita, but it's not the traditional margarita,
Correct.
right? Especially in Texas.
Correct.
So what do you pair with this? What type of food items?
I would eat anything with this, with a margarita. We are in Texas, so everything goes.
Fair enough.
Yes. Definitely taco night.
Okay.
Even when I have a salad.
Really?
Like a Southwest salad. If I'm having black beans, corn, sauteed vegetables like onions and bell peppers on top of my salad, I would definitely go that route.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, so if we were entertaining, say I'm having guests over.
Yes.
All right. What type of cocktails do you recommend? Like, so for me, let me tell you this. I'm wine.
Okay.
So and I want you to break this down for me in my language. So in wine, this is what I would do. I always have a one white, I have one red, and I have one sparkling. That's my rule of thumb whenever I'm entertaining. So if I was venturing out and expanding my palate,
yes.
What's your rule of thumb?
I would say for you, if you're venturing out and expanding your palate, I would most definitely do the Maker's Mark 46.
Okay.
Bourbon and this margarita mix.
Okay.
Starting out. And simple serve. That's it.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
And then after that, you can kind of build on it. So I started out just using bourbon and a margarita mix and simple serve. Started out doing that, and I was like, let me experiment. So I did the ginger liqueur.
Okay.
And then after that, I was like, they have an orange liqueur. You can add orange liqueur. So you start to experiment different things using your baseline cocktails would be a margarita, but you can add different things to it to spice it up a little bit.
Well, listen, TK, you have taught me something new.
Yes.
You've definitely expanded my palate. I am not that, look, I have not arrived, and I hope I never do. I want to always learn more. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
It was fun.
Awesome. Guys, we're going to be right back after this break.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter, Cadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy. Because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Welcome back. So we talked a lot about expanding your palates. Now let's talk about expanding your horizons. You know, I love talking about my story where I felt like I was just on a consistent hamster wheel. And you know, what does a hamster do? They run, and they run in place, but they never get anywhere. So how can you expand your horizons? What is it that you want to do in life? Are you on what I like to call the hamster wheel? Do you see the exact same thing happening over and over and over, be it in your career, your personal life, whatever it may be? If so, it's time to expand your horizons. Make a list of things you know you want to accomplish. Start there, and every day take at least one action step towards that list. I promise you, the dreams will come true. And it's okay to grow. I know that growing can be uncomfortable. So think about a butterfly, right? Butterflies, before they're this beautiful thing, they're in this cocoon. And from what I've researched, that cocoon is very uncomfortable. But when they blossom and when they grow out of that cocoon, what are they? Something so beautiful and so amazing. So it's your turn to turn into that beautiful, beautiful butterfly. As always, you can always follow us on social media, on Instagram and Facebook at American Star TV. I love, love, love the feedback that I'm getting, and we always want to hear more from you. Now go off and expand your palate. I'll see you next time.